How's it going, everybody? This is Pastor Chris McCurdy coming to you with your message for today. I've been doing these Presbyterians Connected videos for a little while now, and you may notice I don't have a special guest with me today, and it's because I felt compelled to share a message as we are in the middle of this time that's a time of crisis for a lot of people. One of the things that happens in a time of crisis for a lot of people is not only are you going through a crisis, but as a pastor, as a church member, as a Christian, you and everyone you interact with is going through a crisis. And as Christians, we're called to serve the world around us, and that can be quite challenging when everyone around us is going through a time like this. Um, it's been said on a number of occasions that a pastor carries a small piece of the burden with their sheep, with their congregants. And when everyone is carrying around a load that is so heavy, it can be a quite daunting and overwhelming task. And so I wanted to just say a few words today on some reminders for us. These are things that we all know. We've been told these things since the beginning, but it's remarkable how often we forget the lessons that we learned a long time ago. So we need to remember to take care of ourselves. We need to remember to look out for our own mental health, our own emotional health, our own physical health. We need to be able to look after ourselves, because if we don't do that, then we're not going to be able to help anybody else. As the Spirit spends the love, the grace, the mercy, the desire for reconciliation, if we don't take the time for Sabbath, if we don't take the time to refill, we will run out, and we will keep working after we run out and not serve God's people the way that we can. So, first reminder, take your foot off the gas. This is a reminder that I feel like a hypocrite while I'm talking about it, because we got to back off a little bit. We have to understand the basic truth that this is God's church. This isn't my church. This isn't your church. This is God's church. And God is going to do what God needs to do for God's church. If it were up to us, the church would have burned and collapsed a long time ago. So keep that in mind. Take your foot off the gas. Take an extra day off this week. Quit reading your emails after 4 o'clock. Do something that requires you to put less into it. And just speaking for myself, that is a discipline that needs to go into it. If you're anything like me, you leave work at the end of the day, but I'm still thinking about work. I'm still thinking about what reopening will look like. I'm still thinking about how can I serve my community when everything is being pulled back and volunteers aren't a thing. I'm always thinking. You need to take a foot off the gas and just trust it into the hands of God. Second piece of advice, make connections with people who are in your situation. These last few weeks, I've had the opportunity to have a Zoom meeting every week with a number of colleagues and just talk about things, talk things out, questions that we have, suggestions on what other people are doing, theoretical complications that I haven't discussed or even talked about since seminary. I am being fed by these group of similarly placed individuals. And I say similarly placed because that's different from talking to family members. That's different from talking to aunts, uncles, cousins, friends from out of town. Those are important relationships. But the ability to talk to people who are in a similar situation as you, have a similar job as you do, have kids the same age that your kids are, have gone through similar life experiences, We need those kind of connections, especially now, because what we do in those moments is two things. Something I said in my meeting yesterday. I love this group because I get the chance to dream big dreams, dream about what's coming down the path, what it is that God is going to do next, the possibilities that we are afforded even in this time and place. Dream and bitch. Excuse my language, but you get the chance to just complain, and you don't get a lot of suggestions on, oh, it's not that bad, or oh, I'm sure it's fine, or this will too will pass, kind of a thing. You get the chance to just cry about things. And if you really are with a group of like-minded people, of like situationed people, I should say, they don't try to fix it. They say, yeah, that's hard. And that's all you really needed from them, the ability to dream and complain. I'll say complain this time. And three, it's the thing we all know about, it's the thing we all talk about, but it's the thing that we forget sometimes. Pray. Pray to God for our world during this time. Pray to God for the people who you can't help. Pray to God for yourself. Pray to God for Sabbath, for grace, for remembering your call, for all these things. Bring to the Lord in prayer what it is that is troubling you, what it is that is on your heart. Pray to God in this hour of need. We know that it works. We tell people that it works all the time. We need to do it, and we need to focus our hearts on that possibility. So with that, I want to leave you with this affirmation of faith that I picked up from the Center of Concern website. Hear now this affirmation of who you are and what it is that you are striving for in your call. Yes, it can happen. Yes, it can take place. Yes, God can do it. After all, the angel said, "Do not be afraid." After all, the tomb was found empty. After all, the Spirit said, "We will pray for you." After all, God wants peace and reconciliation. After all, God's name is justice. After all, God is liberation. Yes, it can happen. Yes, it can take place. Yes, God can do it. Peace be with you, and I hope that you feel blessed today. And if you don't, bring it to the Lord in prayer. Amen.